So I wanted you to learn today about why you need to know how to solve an equation when you have variables on both sides, and how does that relate to real life. So today we looked at back at your last quiz where you had to figure out the breaking point when Flash Cellular and Horizon would cost the same amount of money, which is a real life problem. And so what this is called when you do it algebraically is a system of equations. You have two equations, and we want the ordered pair that will make both of these true at the same time. And that's the breaking even point. So when we did this before, we looked at the graphs and tables at how many minutes will both Flash and Horizon cost the same amount of money. So X represents the number of minutes, and Y represents the monthly cost. And when we graphed it, it was the point of intersection, and in the table, it was where they were the same ordered pair. So we're going to look at that today, how to do it algebraically. So we use substitution to help. So what we substitute is this. If Y equals this, and Y equals this, I'm going to take this Y here out. So this matches this equation. I'm going to take Y out, and I'm going to substitute what Y is equal here. So if Y equals 65 plus 0.03x and Y equals 60 plus 0.04x, then 65 plus 0.03x is equal to 60 plus 0.04x. So we just literally substitute this in for Y, and then we solve this system of equations for x. So to do that, we're going to subtract 3/100 of x from both sides, and then we subtract 60 from both sides, and then we want to isolate x, so we divide by 1/100th, and we get 500 minutes. So if we graph these on the x-axis, Flash and Horizon would cost the same at 500 minutes. But we also want to know how much would it cost. So in order to find out how much it would cost, we simply substitute 500 for x and simplify to find y. So out comes x, in goes 500. Here's where x was. I do 3/100 times 500, which is 15, and I add 65. 15 plus 65 is 80. So at 500 minutes, Flash costs 80 euros. And I do the same thing for Horizon, because I have to check and make sure that for 500 minutes for both companies, they'd have the same cost. Out comes x, in goes 500. So this is really right here. And I do 4/100 times 500, which is 20. 20 plus 60 is 80. So at 500 minutes, I have proven that both Flash and Horizon cost 80 euros. So the solution to a system of equations is the ordered pair, 580. And just make sure if it's a real life situation that you know what it means. This means at 500 minutes, both plans cost 80 euro. So then I gave you a new problem in the US. So now Flash Cellular in the US is $82 for the first 500 minutes and 3 cents for each additional minute. And Horizon charges $55 for the first 500 minutes and 5 cents for each additional minute. And this is a system of equations, and we want to find out at how many minutes will they cost the same and what's the cost. But we're going to do it without a table and without a graph. So make sure you understand that x is the minutes after 500, because this money pays for the first 500 minutes, and y is the cost. So the first thing you had to do is write an equation to represent each company, and you guys did that well. And then we need to solve that system of equations. So if y equals this and y equals this, then this equals this. So we set it up here. And now we subtract 3/100 of x from both sides. And now we have 82 is equal to 55 plus 200x. We subtract 55 from both sides, and we get 200 of x equals 27. Divide both sides by 200, and we get 1,350 minutes. So when I've used my phone after the first 500 for 1,350 minutes, then both companies will cost the same. But I don't know that cost yet. I have to finish it. That's only half of the system. So the way I find the other half is I know x is 1,350, so I'm going to take out x in the equation, and I'm going to put in 1,350. And I'm going to multiply that by 3/100 and add 82. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other equation. Put in 1,350, multiply by 0.05, and add 55. And when I do that, for both companies, we got $122.50. And because we did it for both companies, we're just sure that we're right. So the ordered pair, 1,350, 122.50 is the solution to the system of equations. This is 1,350 minutes beyond the first 500, and this is $122.50. We went over your homework and checked it, and then your algebra, your ALEKS quiz, we're going to have next class because we spent time solving these systems of equations. So your only homework is to finish your ALEKS 3 hours and 15 topics by Sunday night and review over your old ALEKS quizzes so you're ready for that quiz for next class. That's it.